Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Welcome to the show. I'm JP.
I'm Bobby Summers.
And we're bringing opinionated conversations on a variety of topics from perspectives that really don't matter on the Everything Obsolete podcast.
What's up, everybody? This is the Everything Obsolete podcast, where the topics and subjects are pretty current, but the opinions are obsolete. That's Jay Blaze. I'm Bobby Summers. Come share our take on the world, one obsolete opinion at a time. Let's do it. So today, we're going to hit you with a bunch of current events. That's what we're going to do. We got a few stories we want to let loose, and we're going to start off with a sports topic for discussion, and one that you guys probably already know a full throttle of information about, like on all our subjects today. But you know, we like letting our stories saturate in the public before we drop our little comments and takes on it.
Yeah.
You know, so with that being said, we'll start off with the one sports thing that we got going on, which is the
Baseball?
well, I want to pronounce it baseball for sure. We'll start off with the MLB. So I want to make sure I say his name right. Shohei Ohtani. That's his name, right? Shohei Ohtani. I should get his name right because he is like the, if not one of the best players in MLB right now, and for the past 3-4 years. Yeah, we're going to talk about his little story, his little incident he had with his interpreter, who, if I look at it correctly right now, they're saying this man stole $16 million from him. We were talking earlier, just before, we was talking in the number of 4.5 million. I guess that's how they kind of got the story going. Maybe
It got red flagged.
You got red flagged on that boy. That turned into football real quick. There was a referee like, right? So we're talking $16 million that was taken from Mr. Ohtani and from his interpreter, Mitsuhara. So I'm saying these names like the Spanish way, in case you didn't, or I'm trying to. Spanish accent. So I'm going to dig into it. I'm going to just drop a lot of this information on Jay Blaze and let her, like, say what she wants to say. Yeah, let her saturate in it. I want to drop some stuff on Jay Blaze, you know, detailing some of what went on and let her give her intake on some of this stuff. So I'm trying to be as thorough as I can. This man, again, is accused of stealing $16 million from Ohtani. And this is supposed to be his friend.
Right.
His
So not
interpreter.
only his interpreter, his friend, like
His
somebody.
friend, over 10 years. So
So that means he came with him when he got
drafted?
drafted.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. He allegedly siphoned millions from Ohtani's bank account to which he had direct access. Didn't you bring this up before? Why would your friends have direct access to your bank account and you don't know when they touch it or when they do what they do? Like, you should know, like, you just let this man, like...
Well, no, and then not even that. The person who handles your finances for you would red flag that. So, you know, there's going to be channels to get to that money. So, and authorization. So, how is that friend have more authorization than you?
What you mean, like as the administrator?
Meaning because
like the
obviously
administrator.
it got out of hand for this to come up.
Well,
so obviously it just wasn't a one-shot deal.
Listen,
it's been happening
the
and it accumulated
communication-
to that amount of money, obviously, that was taken out of his. In one shot, they took all that money. Of course.
So this is going back. This is going back from at least between December. These are facts that I'm getting from CBS about the MLB incident. It's from December 21 to January 24, Masuhera allegedly lost more than $40 million across about 19,000 individual bets.
So he's betting money and losing on, so he's paying off his debt.
This is incredible. Well, he wasn't paying his debt off if he's using Ohtani's
he's
money.
robbing somebody else to pay off his debt.
But don't you get paid? Like, if Ohtani is a millionaire, his interpreter, whether it's his friend or not, you would think is getting paid as well. Like, you can't be broke.
Yeah, but if you're betting stuff you don't have anymore. So
So it's a problem, you're saying?
yeah, it's like an addiction, right? That's how you got to look at it. But I'm saying it obviously the big amount of money was taken, but not obviously at the same time. So what is going on in between those transactions that no one's red flagged before? Like your first transaction.
And how does Ohtani not know anything in that sense?
That's what
If you're
I'm
his
saying.
friend, you have to know some things.
How did the person who's actually making the money don't know that things are being withdrawn out?
I find that funny and hard to believe.
But your friend has access before you, the owner of
Not
that
before,
money?
not before you, but with you.
Yeah,
Now,
well-
why would you give your friend out? Who does that?
Yeah. Who?
Even your bet, like, you don't just give them access, even if you this is before the $800 million contract that he signed with the Dodgers,
yeah.
but all of this investigation happened right when he basically just got with the
which
Dodgers.
means it happened just before
So,
the
so
season.
when they went to the Angels to investigate, the Angels directed them to the Dodgers. Hey, yo, you got to go to LA, fam. Like, you got to go down the road over here. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
So that's when, and then he was in Seoul, Korea, across seas, doing a training camp, I guess, or preseason, having a game, and that's when all of this shit hit the fan. And I mean, you cannot. The Dodgers, when they immediately got this info, one of the first things they did was bring this to the attention of Ohtani with Masahara right there, and was like, you know what, dude, you're fired, because the Dodgers could do that because Ohtani is an employee of the Dodgers, and even if Masahara works for Ohtani for this interpretation stuff, he also works under the Dodgers.
Yeah, so he reports to someone under the Dodgers.
His communication from day one with Ohtani to as far as America had to have been so fucked
Cloudy.
that the
Cloudy.
Dodgers fired him on site, and when they immediately got another interpreter, and from what I understood, once this new interpreter was brought to Ohtani, the communication between
The
him
transparency was clear.
was
as day.
clear as day. Everything, all the communication between everyone, even past the organization, became elevated. So there's a whole different relationship now with Ohtani and the world with this new interpreter. That's how they made it seem like that. This dude, his friend, quote unquote, had to be omitting, or for those who don't know, not saying the complete story both ways when he was interpreting stuff.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's not professional.
Oh man, he's way like. And then when he tried to stay, there was stories that they try to bring out, or also where Masuhera was saying that he had a problem, and that Ohtani helped pay his debts off. But then they reneged on that real quick, like especially with the Dodgers behind it, and Ohtani's people behind him were like, "Hey, no, we're victims of theft." Like the story turned right into that. Like we don't know all of those problems, and that's probably because the way these stories were weaving, and Ohtani was probably like, "That was my guy."
Yeah.
And now
You gotta feel some type of way, like,
And again, I don't want to hear that Ohtani was just dumbfounded and didn't know nothing, because if he's in his craft, and he's a master at it already at such a young age. So I could see that he's lasered focused on it. But my guy, man, you can't be oblivious. That's not how America is, bro. You got to know what's going on around you, man.
Well, in that situation, there got to be like multiple people overseeing everything that's going on financially, how you're living, how you being treated here, because your communication is blocked. So
or limited, yeah.
So you can't freely speak what's off the top of your mind directly to someone, because someone has to be that middle person. But
which he still needs, which is kind of weird, because I feel like it's like, is he not? He knows English, but not enough
to have a dialect conversation.
Yeah, like a real conversation.
Yeah, which is understandable. That'll take a few more years, and if he actually practices and goes to school, on his off season or whatever, and
because he's gonna that's the easiest way to get taken advantage of.
This is more of a reason why to even know more now, because you don't want this to happen. Not that it should happen anyway, but you just don't know the intentions of other people.
The lack of communication is probably one of the.
And maybe you gotta go over and put yourself as the business person too, and oversee whether it doesn't matter if you don't understand English. You got to have some type of communication. Like this is your career. You're the one that's putting all that money, in your pocket, because it's your talent. So
why did he trust them?
That. Yeah.
Was it really his real account, or was it an account that they shared, or that he was like, look, when you need some, that's your account. You know what I mean? Because I just.
That's a little fishy to me. But.
Yeah, but it's like, but the communication, you see Ohtani's side of it, but then when the things that go on as men, you're still a grown man.
Yeah.
Like, it just makes you think, man. And again, this all became an investigation because of the illegal gambling situation for the state of California. Gambling is illegal, so they looked into the bookie of some sort, whatever. And that's where they found
all that.
The connection to Ohtani and Masuhara and all this other stuff. So I just wanted you to get your take on that, because
I still feel that
there's
in his situation, because the language barrier and being able to communicate freely, and having someone speak for him, and then that person obviously just speaks for him when it comes to work for baseball.
I think it's more than that. I think it's everything in America that he has to deal with. That interpreter is there for him. That's that dude's job. So for every outing or something.
So if he goes to nonchalant, wake up in the morning, he's not practicing or whatever, he goes to a restaurant, that person's with him. So that person knows his ins and outs. Doesn't mean
as a friend, though.
Yeah.
So now, but what about if he's going to an outing to do autographs, or he has a commercial? That interpreter, that's his interpreter. He would be with him. Yeah. But for dinner, I don't know if he goes out with him for that, because he does have his privacy.
I would hope so.
So.
Well then.
We don't. That's going too deep into it.
That's too deep. But I'm just
saying.
So
we leave it.
For someone not to know what's going on with your finances, like that way, like I don't know.
Yeah. As far as
giving that person full access, that's even.
And you're telling me
bizarre.
Your friend for 10 years and you don't know he gambles?
I don't care if you're my friend to the end. You shouldn't have access to
And I know you gamble.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want that. I'm oblivious. I don't know that. I didn't know he gambled. Yeah, you did. I don't want to hear that.
Like, if you know that person,
so that's what makes the story.
What he does on his off time, what he likes is besides watching you play baseball, is he a golfer? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know
things
those
like
things.
That.
You do.
You know?
You're right. You do know.
Does
you
he
don't.
like kimchi? He don't like kimchi,
Like, let's be for real. So,
I don't know.
So we leave it like that. It was something that we wanted to talk about, or I wanted to bring to Jay's attention, because I know she'd be like, wait, what? Because this man just signed an $800 million contract. So this interpreter that's been with him for 10 years is just fucked himself. So, like, come on, man. Like, this was a ride. You're supposed to ride this next 10 years with your man, and you set for life. So, yeah, he definitely missed
Kicked himself
it.
in the ass.
Yeah, he did. So we'll leave that. That's our sports take of the day, man. We're about to switch it up because we want to go. We have a few stories in the current event world that we're gonna end this entire episode on, and we're gonna just jump from one to another. We won't even go into detail like that on them, and we're gonna start off with the Baltimore story with the Baltimore Bridge.
Oh my God, that was
And
horrible.
and the ship, it definitely was.
I think every picture, anything, video that I've seen, someone either in real time take it, because they obviously looked up and just saw it happening. Like, obviously it wasn't unstoppable, but it just shows it like almost like if it was like a paper bridge. It just came down like
Legos.
nothing.
The thing that I'm reading here is the description was the bridge fell like a stack of toothpicks. I was telling her that I saw it as like Legos just collapsing.
Like, like when you make a popsicle kind of bridge for school for science.
Yes,
and
with the
glue
sticks. Yeah, and it just tumbles over.
Yeah,
like it was instant.
I mean, it's not funny, but
No, it's not. It's not funny. I'm gonna give her some facts about the story and then let her just dig into it. So this happened on a Tuesday morning at 1:30 in the morning. The bridge was 47 years old, so it is not
a landmark.
A landmark, right? Because
Not
it takes
over
100 years.
yeah.
The bridge was the Baltimore Francis Scott Key Bridge, and this ship was 984 feet long. That's 3 football fields. So you have a better take on that. That's 3 football fields. It weighed 213 million pounds. That's how heavy this boat
What
was.
it? Did it say what it was cargoing?
The exact stuff?
Yeah, like what
no,
was
but that it was
actually
coming. It was a dolly ship, just
Yes,
moving.
obviously pulling some type of.
It was just
Cargo.
It was just carrying cargo by the Danish shipping giant Maersk.
Whatever they sell.
Whatever they sell. So
Whatever
it
they
had
sell is what they had on.
There was 21 members on the boat. Just minutes before it hit the bridge, the boat loses power. Total 100% blackout.
So minutes before it hits that, so obviously it was still close enough where they couldn't obviously do anything about it.
Well, if it happens
Aren't there like emergency breaks?
I don't know boat stuff like that, but I see where you're going, like a backup.
Yeah, generator that pulls.
Maybe that takes minutes to.
Yeah, there got to be some type of emergency
But maybe
breaker,
that takes.
anchor that can be dropped or something.
That takes time still, huh? That's dropping down into the water. That's still going to take a minute. A minute though, the boat is moving at whatever speed it is, which I don't know if they really say all of that, but the boat is moving at the speed it is. You're getting closer to the bridge, which is normal to them. They see this all the time. And then power blacks out. Even if there's an emergency, there's still a minute of the boat moving at the speed that it was moving at when the power turned off.
Totally understandable. So all that happened in the seconds as it's getting closer.
Well, minute. It says a couple of minutes because it says just minutes before hitting it. So those last 2 minutes must have felt like forever for these motherfuckers on the boat.
That's sad.
And then they hit this bridge and
Yeah, it came down like if it was paper. But, considering the amount of power, the length of it, what it was carrying.
Normally those boats, they go under the bridge from the middle. So obviously it veered off and it drifted to the right and it crashed into the pillar, which caused the entire collapse. I mean,
then it depends on if the winds were high, So that all takes effect.
And it was confirmed that it lost power. So I know when this happened, and maybe when the story was out a couple of weeks ago, whatever, people probably were like, lost power, like what? They were probably saying shit like you saying, generators, what's up with all of that?
Backup, some type of backup.
They literally lost power, and it's legit. The story is legit. You know what I mean? And I got like before and after photo that I'm gonna place up right about here, y'all. And you go from seeing just a normal, beautiful bridge to a completely collapsed bridge. So it was a scary moment for the people, especially. You said something interesting. Imagine if it was
during the day.
during rush hour.
Yeah, just during the day. Not even like rush
I mean,
hour.
rush hour will be the worst.
Yeah, but during work hours, let's just say that anywhere from 9 to 5.
Well, there's less people on the road 9 to 5. You would say early morning rush hour or evening rush hour is when the most people.
Well, then you have schools that are just the amount of stuff that's going over that bridge in that time, especially if it leads to major.
So there was some
towns.
casualties, if I'm not mistaken.
That's scary.
There were six construction workers. At least don't quote me. I'm sorry if I miss any number. I'm just doing a quick read, real quick. But there was at least between 6 to 8 victims in this. I know they were at the time. They were definitely looking for any missing persons. Just imagining
unreal.
this. Yeah.
To see it in real life, like.
As the morning progressed, there's also an image of just the boat. What's amazing is that a lot of these images, it just shows the boat. Once the boat hit the pillar, it just stood there. So it didn't continue moving past the bridge. When the bridge collapsed on it, it kind of just stays there. So I'll definitely throw that picture up there too, so you guys can check it out.
Crazy.
But that's we wanted to touch on that. That's one story we want to talk about. The next story we want to talk about, I don't know if this is funny or not. We're gonna go with a
He
man.
laughs before he says it.
Yeah, I mean, the man is from Missouri, and
Where do you find these stories?
they just come up, and I just find them interesting to tell you, so that we could tell the audience here.
So go ahead, Missouri man.
Missouri man, about 60 years old, decides to take it into his own hands and chop his feet off so that he could collect the insurance policy. So,
Oh my God! Why does this sound like another movie?
from what I understand, he hires someone I don't know if you. He basically hires someone from Florida to come and do it for him and help chop off his feet.
So he hires a hitman amputator.
A hitman amputator, whatever you want to. I
it's
don't know
not
what
funny,
you call
though.
that, man. I just don't know what you call that. So Florida man chops off, and the dude was already a paraplegic. So he, I guess his thing was, let me chop off my feet. I could collect some insurance money. I'll be well off. But you know what? Cops get involved. They figure out the story.
The insurance probably.
No, he didn't claim the insurance. That's why he didn't get arrested for that. So I'm jumping the gun here, but now the cops, the police department, they wanted to maybe file some stuff on him for just giving a bogus report.
Okay.
You understand? Because they can't get him on the fraud because he didn't go collect the insurance.
It wasn't
yet.
Successfully inputted.
And he probably didn't do that because you motherfuckers gave up the information of knowing that he's telling you a lie. Maybe if they would have held off on that part,
Well, anyway,
they would have got him on the bigger.
I mean, you hire a hitman to cut your body for insurance purposes.
Like, what do you think about that, though?
How much are you in debt to do
What
that?
would you chop off a piece for some insurance?
No, I wouldn't chop off anything.
You keep all your body parts.
Yeah, even if they're not all working.
Even if they're not all working. So this man now, he's a paraplegic, or which he already was. Now he has no feet.
He's amputated.
He's amputated.
Yes. Hi.
And
Hi.
he has no insurance policy money. So he got the 3-strike whammy. He's out of there. Dunzo. Like, come on, bro. That was one of the dumbest things ever. I mean, what did you expect? That's that story. That's crazy. So I'm gonna just drop that on y'all like that and move on to the next here, which is probably the next couple of stories. They kind of intertwine a little bit, and that's with our local stores across America, Walmarts and dollar stores. But I'll begin with the Walmart stores.
Well, then
story.
cracking down on thefts.
Well, they all trying to crack down on this stuff.
Target too.
All of these major stores that started that wanted to knock off the human and got all of these express
Lines, yeah, express checkouts.
self-checkouts and express lines to minimize. And then what they found out was there was so much theft going on that they really literally lost more money with the self-checkouts than if they just paid humans to do it. So now Walmart has come up with an idea to come out with Walmart Plus, where they'll be charging customers $96 annual fee to use the self-checkout. So basically the self-checkout is no more freedom to everyone. It's only for those who paid for it.
That's
So-
gonna be hard to implement.
How?
You're still gonna need a human to tell you
So-
you are not a Walmart Plus shopper to enter this area.
Well, no, you have to be a Walmart Plus. So you're probably gonna have to hit your card or have some type of Walmart Plus code that you type in. If you're not a Walmart Plus,
Yeah, they have that now. Like you could use Walmart Plus, and you can have like free food delivery.
that's part of Walmart Plus, but that's a 96. Is there a fee for the?
Yes.
Is it $96 or
I
you don't
can't
know?
remember,
okay.
but there is a fee.
Or $98. I'm sorry, I don't know.
There's a fee.
So with that fee, I don't know if now it's all accumulative
Implemented together,
or is it separate fees, but that's a big deal because now you could probably find out that you're going to be on a 20-man line in Walmart's, which kind of, we could just bring that right into the dollar stories, the Dollar Tree stories.
Oh, they're shutting down because they're saying that they're losing money.
From theft.
Theft as well.
But they're not shutting down, aren't they raising their prices? They're raising their prices to $7.99.
Because of theft. So they're losing money with their merchandise. So then they're obviously downsizing because what happens is all these companies, all these like,
They expand too
they
much.
expand too much too fast. And then
I mean, that's been around for a while. I don't know
Yeah.
if they expanded too fast, but yes.
Yes.
So that's one thing. Shutting down some stores is one thing, but the dollar store, the 99-cent stores, those were created for a reason.
Right, but they're no
And-
longer 99-cent stores anymore. Like
Yeah,
it's
but
been like
to-
that for a while, so they'll
It
probably still
has.
have the name dollar store, dollar whatever, 99 cents whatever. But then when you walk in there, things are $1 and change. Now
Well-
everything's $1.
But they're saying $7. What's
Well,
the
yeah.
purpose of
Dollar
a dollar
Tree
store?
started doing everything was $1. Then it went up to $1.29, and then
No,
they
but there's
started-
still a lot
they
of
started,
stuff.
They started doing things at $5. So now what's going to be $5 is really $7.
I don't want to misconstrue anything. When you go to these dollar spots, it's to get the miscellaneous stuff for $1. You're not gonna go in there and get your bubble gun for $1, okay? Just because it's a Dollar Tree. You understand? It's all the small necessity things that are $1 or was $1 back some time ago. So, like you're saying, these prices have gone up little by little. Yeah, understandable,
Because
whatever.
they no longer just sell like the minute things. Like you'll go there and they'll sell something for your garden, like a little stool that if you go somewhere else, it'll cost you $20, but they'll sell it for $5. It's not the best, obviously, product in the world. It's just something to get you by. So you're paying for what it's worth.
So those prices now are going up though to
Yeah.
$7.99 or whatever.
Yeah, but then it's
that's
like,
a big
why would
deal.
you? Yeah, it's a
that's-
big deal because you rather go to a regular chain store and pay legitimately what it really costs for something of value that's gonna last you long.
Last you a little bit
You're not
longer. You
gonna
could
go to
use
the
for
dollar
years to
store
come.
and be like, oh my God, I saw this wood-looking rocking chair and it only lasts you 2 days because it's not sturdy enough. So
So the price is $98 for the self checkout a year. $98 a year, and that's how you're able to use the self checkout. So get ready for those changes. They're coming, and if you haven't got the $7 markups in the dollar stores, you'll see that coming anytime now as well.
Up. And
So
then Target too was talking about they're gonna implement the AI technology.
Save that, because we have an AI story we're gonna talk about. But still, the AI technology to what? To spy on you during self checkout.
Just to spy on you as you're shopping, basically.
Not just paying.
No, but
Even
if
when
you
you're
do
normal shopping.
something before you pay, and while you pay, you might get called out on it. So,
Robots in disguise.
oh God. But then stick on technology. Might as well just stick on all the technology.
Oh, so we're gonna, you know what? That's a perfect segue if you want to stay with that, because we're gonna jump into something that I'm definitely gonna have to dig into her mind with. Like the main topic of discussion for this episode is Chat GPT. Is it good or is it bad? I got to get your whole thought process on this, because I don't think you don't use it at all. I just kind of start using it, and it's helped me a lot. And when I say just, I mean in like the last couple of weeks. Like, you could literally ask GPT anything. And it gives you a generated answer. It helped me do things for this very pod we're speaking on. The problem with that is you could ask it anything.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to stay good with it, but I am going to bring the bad part, which is you could ask it, for the good example, you could ask it, hey, how could I set up my resume for being a chef?
Yeah, that's like using it as a guideline to help
No, but
you.
that's exactly what it is. You understand? It's that you use it for anything. You can ask it anything.
Yeah. So if you want to use it for a speech, your speech is not going to be that authentic.
Ooh, which is what I was trying to say. How real are you going to get when you make this resume, or like you said, a speech? How is it coming from the heart? Now, the more precise and direct you talk to Chat GPT, it gives you that much better of a response. So if you're vague, it kind of gives you a vague response. But if you're thorough with what you wanted to give you, it gives you some information. You know what I mean? And you're going to be so happy with what it generates. My thing is, again, going back, authenticity. How do you know you're getting a real response from somebody? Like, that's not a genuine response.
Yeah,
so you're not getting what the person really is.
It's not a normal human emotional interaction, depending
And
on how you use it.
some people might say, yes, it is, because you made the chat generate that by giving it something. But you didn't think of it yourself. That means it's not coming from here.
Right.
So, that's
Which back in the days before all this technology and all this
AI stuff.
AI stuff and helping you generate. I mean, you would have to look up a word and see what the word defines and what you wanted to describe. And, obviously there's several words that mean the same thing. Or,
you might want to just use a better word for certain things.
So you would have to go through a dictionary. And now
encyclopedia. Or even just the web. Now, let's bring it
Now,
more
and the
closer
web.
to the
Well,
way we lived.
the web.
If you just went online and figured
But
out.
now you have
Chat
something-
GPT.
yeah.
This is, we're on the fence with it right there. But I'm gonna lean to the evil side. Like, how do I slice somebody with a knife to hit the exact artery to make them bleed to death? I'm sorry I went there, y'all, but come on. Chat GPT is going to give you the answer.
Yeah, that's too scary.
And I don't know if people are going that deep into it, but you could if you want to.
Yeah. It's just too
If I had this,
And
this,
on
and
reach,
this, how
yeah.
do I create this?
Yeah.
And I don't want to say the actual thing, but bad stuff.
yeah.
You
And the
could.
thing is that if you have access to it, then a minor has access to things like that. Like
It is a
kids
free app.
already know how to manipulate their parents. So imagine, and they already know technology, and that's the scary
It's a
thing.
free app.
Yeah.
So everybody got.
Yeah. So that you never learn like the basics because you got things helping you.
So it's a chat box. Remember we talked about TikTok a couple of episodes ago? We talked about how it blew up so fast. This chat GPT was created and it launched November 30th of 2022.
Yeah.
It really went into rotation though. Like, I don't know if I want to say rotation. That might not be the right word, but it really circulated the fucking world in February of 2024. That's when it really released. And everybody, like, it became a useful app.
Why? How is that?
Because it just started, everybody, it's like putting it out and then you got to give people time to understand it and use it. You know what I mean? And so it became a stable release in February of 2024.
Where they saw obviously the percentage of usage of it and how good it's done.
Yes, most likely. I would think so. That's my take on it for sure. Yeah. Like it is based on a large language model and enables users to refine and steer a conversation toward a desired length, format, style, level of detail and language. You basically, so when it spits out to you, you could be like, hey, can you make that more shorter? Take off a paragraph, but give me the same information. Literally, orders. You could tell it that.
Yeah, you're giving it orders.
Yeah. Like.
Who needs a man?
Hey, we gonna take it like.
Like, who needs the human? I don't know. That's weird.
This
you
is.
don't need a therapist if you can talk to that thing.
And you could just read
what
it tells
you. It just tells you what you want to hear.
Like
how good am I as a person? And it'll probably, if you
gotta be more, that's too vague,
too much,
you have to say more. How good am I as a person if I were
That's
helping?
Scary. Imagine if that thing turns around and starts calling your name and shit. You know, like when you're watching movies and computer starts like bossing you around now.
Well, no, chat doesn't, not that I've seen, the chat doesn't literally talk back to you. It types it to you.
But it's so smart that it eventually can.
Well, they would have to change the app, but yes. Now, they also have, which I wanted to bring up, I don't know if you know, or I would think you've at least heard of it. They also have this chat tattoo. So let me rewind. They also have this AI that you describe the tattoo that you want, and it generates the tattoo for you.
Okay.
My thing is, it's the same thing to me. Mm-hmm. It's not genuine.
Yeah.
You get tattoos on you, it's stuff that you thought about. Yeah, you could have seen the image and you put stories together. You telling this AI program to put it together for you, it generates it in such a beautiful way.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. Like, no one wants to put in the work to do things. People just want what they want, how they want it.
So you got these new sleeves that are coming out. So the newer, they're not gonna have tats like us. Even if you have a great artist and you like the way that's not free though. You have to pay for that. That you have to buy that app.
Well, it's not about the artist.
They give you 7-day trial.
The artist is not able to create it because you're already presenting your artist with what is already created for you.
I mean, a lot of the art is done like that already.
Like, hello, I want this type of bird with this type of vine and this type of tribal, and and they're putting it all together, and all you got to do is take it to your tattoo artist and be like, I want it exactly like this. Meanwhile, it really didn't come from you. You just spit, it came from you, but it didn't.
Where I think a lot of tattoos, especially for us, we had to go look and
make sure that human, that physical human, has some type of,
something to see.
Yeah, like, some artistry, some type of imagination.
Your tattoo artist has some type of.
Because a good tattoo artist will know how to draw anything you're trying to explain to them.
But if you want their artwork illustrated on you, so you could give them something, but you say draw it your way.
Yeah. And then there'll be like a plethora of artists, and they'll be like, nah, I don't really like fucking with those type of,
Oh, yeah.
pictures or animals.
Yeah, you
like
definitely-
I can't really, get into those thin lines and nah, I'd rather pass you to Fulano or, like this person. Like,
well, no,
he's better.
you got to get. So, but
Yeah.
if you have your set artist, he's never gonna pass you up. That's your man or
Yeah.
woman. But you got to know
That
if you're-
doesn't mean that it's not going to be a challenge for that person.
Oh no, but you
yeah.
got to know that you should know that your artist is a realist drawer or an imaginative drawer.
Yes.
There's another word for that. I might have said the wrong word, but there's different types of artists that they're locked in to drawing a certain way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you gotta, your artist should know you. I mean, if you're a first timer, my thing is, again, I just hopefully you're putting more thought into your image, and same thing with chat.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're putting more thought into what you're saying. When it does deliver information back to you, it's more of who you are.
Yeah.
Because again, the more vague you are, the more vague the answer. So I don't know, like that's a little.
It's a little cheating.
Yeah, like I like it in a sense, but I'm not
you
using it
want
to
to
get
use
a
that
job.
as a guideline and make sure that you're sounding the way you want to sound and using the right words to express yourself.
I wouldn't use it to like go help me go find a job, or I just feel like you need to be more of who you are, because if you get caught, if you have it speak the chat, have it speak to you in words that you don't use.
You
In
sound,
your-
you sound incompetent. Like you know.
Yeah, like they're gonna be like, "Hey, man, your speech that you gave was A1, but when you talk, you don't talk nothing like that." That's because it was generated, bro. Like,
The thing is that anybody who will stop you and be like, "Hey, your speech was great," like you better memorize everything that you kind of
That you
said
kinda
and back it up,
yes,
because you're gonna
yes.
be like, "Oh yeah," you're just gonna feel dumb.
I mean, even if you're trying to like hide it, yeah.
Yeah.
Like behind the scenes, you want to be like,
When it comes natural, you'll speak on it like instantly.
yes,
So
yes.
you're gonna have to study that.
I mean, like again, we're going on both sides of the fence here. Like, but I think it leans more to the bad. I think it's gonna go. I think a lot of
Depends on
people
how
now
you
are using it in such a good way that it's like, but that's too big of a risk. I think chat, and then the same thing with the GTP pic images, and like they could clone your voice now.
Yeah.
Like they could make, so when you hear these diss records or in the music industry or whatever, or like you don't know, and you see stuff on socials, is that real or is that people, editing and putting in?
Yeah, you don't know what's real or not real anymore. That's scary.
It was already, just dealing with someone and being like, that person ain't real. Now you really got to be like, yo.
I mean, it's been started. It's been like that for a while. Like even when you call like your doctor's office, you can't speak to anybody. You're speaking to a computer. Even
Yeah,
to
but that's
make an
not-
appointment, you're speaking.
That was low level.
Yeah.
That's low level because that's just an automated voice. This chat,
there's
is
no communication, no emotion behind things anymore.
I mean, but emotion causes drama, and that's what they take away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They take that part of it away when they eliminate the human interaction.
Yeah,
So
we'll see how that goes, but
no, it's out there.
Yeah.
It's gone for sure. But I just wanted to bring up that chat with you, like good or bad. What is it? I mean, what's your final take on that? Like,
are they going to create something to detect? There's got to be some type of barriers
detect what though?
of how you can use that, like in the workforce. Are workforce going to allow you to use stuff like that? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I bet you the president is probably using it. God knows.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't
Creating
you?
speeches and all that. No longer that person.
Writing this shit, like
Yeah,
you
and
eliminate
doing
a
all
lot.
that, yeah.
So
Because
I
there's
mean,
not
that's a
enough
good
time in the
look.
24-hour clock to do things anymore. So all that cuts, all that,
Seconds.
Yeah.
All you got to do is waste the 30 seconds to tell chat what you wanted to say.
Yeah.
Same thing with the image, with the GPT images. And
So like for writers, like is there such thing as writer's block? If you just like talk to that,
you could
tell them what you
Thank
kind of
you.
want your book to be
How do you
about.
thank you?
Yeah, but that's not authentic.
It's not. This is what I'm.
I don't want to buy your book because
Is
a
it
computer
good?
generated for you.
Is it good or bad? This is what I've done.
Well, we'll see if how people, how the world intakes things and how it affects,
Now that it's in full throttle,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
You
Like
have
it's
to
in
see
full.
Yeah.
I mean, I dig it, man. I dig it. That's our take on the current event topics of this episode, man. Like this,
Too much technology.
too much technology. Technology is what got us on this pod. Like we wrapping this episode up right here. This is how we doing it. Thank y'all for tuning in. That's Jay Blaze. I'm Bobby Summers.
Once again, thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit the thumbs up, like, and share buttons. Follow us on socials. Also available on all platforms. See you next, where no topics are safe on the Everything Obsolete podcast.
The opinions and views of this podcast are strictly those of the host and guests and should not be replaced for help seeked out by individuals.